Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I can't begin to say how disappointing it is to listen to the rhetoric we hear on this issue in this place, because it's a serious question that actually requires to stop being politicised. This is a question of acknowledging we have a problem. It's not a question of saying your targets are too big or too costly and our targets are great and we're going to overreach them. Repeating something like that doesn't make it fact, and it doesn't make it enough, because if you accept the science that we have to reduce emissions, then you have to accept the science that is saying we are not doing enough. Whatever targets you want to lay your hat to as far as Paris went, it was a starting point. It was never meant to be the end point of where we have to get to if we want to create a meaningful impact on our carbon emissions and have some chance of keeping temperatures to a livable and acceptable standard. Ideally 1.5, but we are on track to 2 to 3 degrees of warming. Who are we kidding here? Now, the government accepts the science that we have to reduce emissions. Then you must accept the science that says we are not doing enough. Now, the starting point has to be to acknowledge we have a problem. There are so many members in this House, especially on the government side, who have gone to their electorates during the last election saying, I believe in climate change and I believe we are going to take action. Well, if the science is now telling you you need to do more, then you have to adjust. It is not wrong or failure to adjust your trajectory if you're being told it's not working or it's not enough. This isn't about pointing a finger or pointing a blame. It's about collectively coming up with a solution for the Australian people so that they actually have something to look forward to, so that our children have something to look forward to. The Parliamentary Friends of Climate Action heard from a number of medical bodies yesterday. Now, the presentations we got were so sobering, it's frightening. To understand what the impact of a warming world, what heat can do to the body, how it will impact our young and the older people who will be vulnerable, the increase in death, heat stroke, really serious implications. And instead of really focusing on that, and I asked the body, did you write to our health minister and indicate what the concerns about the health impacts of climate change and a warming climate? And the response was, the health minister doesn't see a warming climate as a health issue. Climate change is not a health issue. It is. The doctors are telling us it is. It's a priority. We need to know in what ways are we equipped to deal with that scenario. It's so important that everyone actually be accountable in this place. We've heard so much over the last 10 to 15 years on this issue. You actually all now need to be accountable. Stand up and be counted. Have a conscience vote, all of you, on both sides. Actually put your colours to the mast of where you stand on this issue. We saw it happen with marriage equality. We need to start to see it happening on climate change.